Hi everyone, today we have a 45-minute Pilates Flow class. So let's get started on our mat, taking your legs a little bit wider than your hips. Nice big inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, and then exhale to release back down. Again, nice big inhale, and exhale to release. One more, nice big inhale, and then exhale to release. Take your legs a little bit wider here, go into a squat. Come up to a stand, reach your arms overhead as you lift your heels off the mat and then lower back down. And repeat, going into your squat, lengthen, reach overhead and back down. Again, lower, press, feeling that connection through your rib cage here. Lower, lift and reach. Just warming up our body. Finding the strength through your legs here, taking it down and up and pressing overhead. 5 more. And 4. Reach. This is 3. 2 more here. 2. Press and lift. Last one, and reach and lengthen, and then lower back down. Now taking your legs underneath your hips, go into a mini squat position. So you're hinging from your hips, weight is equal between both of your legs here. Taking your hands into prayer or take your hands on your hips, little pulses. Keeping your chest open. Think about lifting the arches of your feet, pressing through your big toe and your second toe and your heel. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up to a full stand. Now turning to the side, taking your legs underneath your hips and you're walking towards the back edge of your mat. Nice big inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale to release. Roll it down. So peeling it down 1 vertebrae at a time. Reaching down towards that mat, lifting your hips up high. Start to pedal your legs out right and left here. Bending one knee and through the other. You can always bend your knees a little bit more, especially if those hamstrings to the back of your legs are tight. A few more here. Now walk your hands out to downward dog. So you're lifting your hips up high. You're pressing your heels down towards the mat so you're getting that nice stretch. Keeping the chest nice and open and finding that strength through your upper body here. Keep lifting the hips. Keep drawing belly button towards your spine. Couple more breaths. Now, you have a few options here. So you can go into a knee hover, bending your knees, shoulders over your wrists, and then lift back up into your downward dog. Or you can lower all the way down on all fours, pressing away from the mat, and then tuck your toes under and lift your hips back up to that downward dog position. So you're lowering down for 2 and then lift up for 2. Again, lower for 2, keeping that nice neutral spine here, and then lift for 2. As you lower, really think about shifting your weight forward. So you're going onto that all fours position, whether it's a knee hover or knees are touching the mat. And lift. Feeling that connection of your core engaging as you lower for 2. Hips lift, lengthen through the legs as you lift on up. Again, lower for 2 and lift. 1 more here, lower, and then lift on up. Holding this downward dog, keep finding that nice stretch through the back of your legs here. A couple more breaths. Now step your right leg through, so you're going into a lunge position. Keeping your back leg straight, your hips are nice and level, knee is over your ankle. So you can do this a couple ways. Again, you can go into a nice low position, tap your hands on the mat, and then lift on up. So keeping your hips level, lower and lift. You can also start with your hands closer to your thigh, lower, and then lift on up. So the closer you are to the mat, the more of a challenge you'll have. Making sure that you're not adding any stress through your low back. You want to find the length in your spine here and lift. Lower, lift and press. So you're going to find the strength through that front leg here, especially as you stabilize through your knee, keeping it over your ankle. 5 more. 5, press. 4, 3, 2. On this last one, hold your lunge, shift your weight forward. So now your weight is mainly through that front leg. Lift your back leg up and down. So you can take your hands on your hips. You can come up a little bit higher in this position, or you can reach and extend your arms as you lift that back leg up. Lift and lower. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your foot down, hip check, keeping the hips nice and level. Shift your weight forward again. Bend your back knee and then stretch. So it's a bend and lengthen. You can bend the elbows in and reach. Nice big inhale and exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, release and press your hands down on the mat. Lift your hips back up into that downward dog position. You should feel a nice stretch through your glute here. Again, focusing on your breath, finding the release through the back of your legs here. One more deep breath. And then you can start to pedal out your feet again, bending right and then left. Keeping the chest nice and open. And reach. This is 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now step your opposite leg through. Same thing now, but on the other side. So finding your lunge first. Back leg is straight, knee is over your ankle, hips are level. Reaching to that low point. So finding that challenge and find the length in your spine and then lift on up. So if you're up a little bit higher in this lunge, that's perfectly fine. You want to find the challenge through your glutes and through your core here. Lower and lift. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, keeping your knee right over your ankle. 3, 2. On this last one, hold it here. Shift your weight forward. Most of your weight is through this front leg. Lift your back leg up and down, either extending your arms or you can keep your hands on your hips as you lift and lower. Hips are nice and level. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, keep your foot down on the mat. Lengthen through your leg. Bend your back knee and then extend. Bend and press. So again, keeping the hips nice and level, finding the strength through your lower body. You got this. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring your feet together. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Release. Take your arms down by your sides. Roll it down. Think one vertebrae at a time. Or you can walk your hands down your thighs in that nice neutral spine. Reaching down towards the mat. Keep lifting the hips nice and high. Walk your feet back. Find that downward dog again. Nice big inhale and exhale. And again, start to pedal your feet out right and left here. Just going at a pace that works for you. A couple more. And then you can lower down onto your knees, onto all fours. Now lower down onto your forearms. So taking stress off of your wrists. You can either do palms facing down or palms clasping in. For some reason I like it with my palms facing in. I think it's because I have hyperextension through my elbows, so I just find this a little bit easier on my joints. Shoulders right over your elbows, hips over your knees. Taking your leg up towards the ceiling and back down. Pointing through your foot to start. Lift and lower. So you're working through your hips. You're working through your glutes here. Keep pressing away from the mat with your upper body so you find that strength through your back muscles, and you're stabilizing through your shoulder joints here. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now taking your leg out to the side and back down. It's okay if it's a smaller movement. You want to be really aware of what your opposite hip is doing. You don't want it to push out to the side too much. It may do that a little bit, and that's okay. That's how you build strength through your hips here. And press. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, release back down. Same thing now, but on the other side. Lifting your leg up and down. Finding the strength through the back of your leg here. Keep drawing belly button to spine as you lift and lower. And press. Keep pressing away from the mat. Lift and release. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take your leg out to the side and lower back down. So being really careful that your hip is not pressing out to the side too much. Think about belly button to spine. Using that breath to help you. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release back down. Now staying on your forearms, you can walk your knees back and shift your weight forward. So you're in this half plank position, or you can tuck your toes under, lengthen through your legs, hold your forearm plank, pressing away from the mat, finding the length through your spine. Keep drawing that rib cage in and together for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down, separating your knees, reaching back into child's pose. So extending your arms, finding the length in your spine again, and just finding your breath here. Couple more deep breaths. And then come back up to all fours. So taking your arms wide on the mat for push-ups, you can either do a half plank, a full plank, or come up to the wall or countertop. So that way you have a little bit more assistance. Keeping the chest nice and open. We have 10 of these. Ready? Here we go. Lowering down and up. Making sure that you're pressing your feet into the mat if you're in a half plank. Lower and lift. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, you got it. Last one. And reach back into child's pose one more time. One more breath here. Coming back onto all fours on your forearms. Pressing away from the mat. Again, hips over knees, shoulders over your elbows. Flexing your foot this time. Repeating this movement, lifting your heel up towards the ceiling and then lower back down with control. So you're working through the back of your leg here as you lift and lower. And press. Keep pressing away from the mat with your upper body. And lift and lower. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now taking your leg out to the side, lift and lower. Trying to keep your hip, knee, and ankle working together as one unit. Finding the strength through your hips here. And lift. 5 more. 4, keep drawing belly button to spine, you got this. 3, 2, last one, and release back down. Whew. Okay, same thing now, but on the other side. Flexing your foot, drawing your heel up towards the ceiling and back down. Finding that connection through your lower body here. You're gonna feel your upper body getting a nice challenge too if you're focusing on a total body movement with this exercise. And press. You have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now taking your leg out to the side, keeping the foot flexed, lift and lower. Trying to keep that opposite hip nice and stable. It can press out just a little bit. Working your leg as one unit here. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release back down. Nice work. So walking your feet back, going into your forearm plank, whether it is a half plank or a full plank, holding it here, keeping your chest open. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down into child's pose, separating your knees and just extending your arms, reaching it forward. Using your breath to help you. One more breath here. Come on back up for push-ups next. So arms are wide on the mat or against the wall or countertop. If you're in a half plank, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Find the length in your spine so you're not lifting the hips up and back. If you're in that full plank position, focus on the length through the crown of your head so you're not tucking your chin under. 10 push-ups. Ready? Here we go. Lower, down, and up. Think total body movement here. And lift. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And shift your weight back, sitting back on your heels, reaching your arms forward to get a release through your joints. Nice big inhale. And exhale. One more. And roll it all the way back up. Okay, so we're going to turn to our side next, making sure that our knees and our ankles are stacked. You're at that 45-degree angle. Your arm is extended out nice and long. So you're at this diagonal line and you're lifting out of your rib cage. Start by going into a clamshell. You can either stay here or you can lift and press your hips on up as you open and then lower to close back down. So it's a lift and then lower. So keep pressing away from the mat, engaging through your back muscles here. And lift. So finding the strength through your hips. 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and release back down. So we're gonna add on to this a little bit. So you can either continue doing the clamshell, either with the hip lift or not, lifting your hips on up. You can extend your leg, bend, and then lower all together at once. So it's gonna be open, extend, bend, and then close. Opening up the chest without letting the rib cage completely release here. Press and lower. Again, lift, reach, and lower. My hand is sweating, so I'm starting to slide. So if you need to adjust, that's always an option. 3 more. 3, press. 2, reach. 1 more. And release back down. So now rolling onto your back here. Just making sure that your spine feels nice and lengthened. Reaching your arms down by your sides, keeping that chest nice and open. Lift your hips up into a bridge, lower back down. Using your breath to help you. Keeping your abs engaged and that nice full lift here. And press. This is 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2, last one, release back down. Now taking your arms up towards the ceiling, going into Pilates 100 next. You can either keep your feet on the mat, you can take your legs into tabletop, or you can extend them nice and long. Nice big inhale. Exhale, you can raise the shoulder blades off or keep them down on the mat, pumping your arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Again, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. You can always adjust your position in this. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. One more round, you got it. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release back down. You can hug your knees into your chest if you'd like. Circling the knees one direction. And then you can reverse and circle the opposite way. Again, lowering your feet down on the mat, going into a bridge position, extending your legs nice and long. You're gonna lift your hips on up, flex your foot, and then lift. So you're keeping your hips nice and lifted, extending your leg, and then flexing your foot. Otherwise, you can go into a lift, hold it here, just lower your heel down and up so you have a little bit more stability versus the full leg extension. Ready? So finding that starting position. Here we go, pressing through your hip, lift and lower. Again, point and flex. One more, reach and lower, feet together, and then lower your hips back down. So same thing on the other side, extending your leg nice and long, or you can do the heel, lift and lower. Nice big inhale, exhale to lift and lower. So think point and flex, 3 more, 2, last one. Feet back on the mat, and then lower the hips all the way back down. Nice work. Okay, so now taking your right leg into tabletop, extending your opposite arm towards the ceiling, reach and extend your arm and your leg, and then lift it back to center. So you can take your opposite hand behind your head. So now you're gonna extend, and then you can lift on up, raising the shoulder blades off the mat if that feels good. Again, nice big inhale and exhale. Lift, reach, and come on up. 5 more here. Using your tummy muscles to help you. That way you're not placing any stress through your head and your neck. 2 more. 2, and lift. Last one. Release back down. So same thing, but on the other side. Leg in tabletop, opposite arm reaching towards the ceiling. Other hand can be behind your head. Reach and extend, and then bring it back to center. You can also add a little chest lift here. Nice big inhale and exhale. So the key here is to keep the hips stable. You're working through your tummy muscles while you're keeping your shoulders and your hips stable through this movement. And press and lift. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, last one. And release back down. So extending your legs nice and long, reaching your arms back by your ears. We're gonna roll it up next. So nice big inhale, exhale to tuck your chin, peeling it all the way back up, finding that length in your spine, flexing your feet, reaching forward to get a nice stretch. You can always bend through your knees if that feels better on the back of your legs, and then lift on up. So we can't forget the other side for our clamshells. So keeping that nice 45-degree angle, knees are stacked, ankles are stacked. Reaching your arm nice and long, so you're pressing away from the mat. You can go into your clamshell here, working through your hips. You can reach and open and then close if you're adding that hip lift and lower. So again, finding that strength through your lower body. And you're engaging through your back as you lift and press on up. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lift and release back down. So now you can add on to this if you'd like, adding the leg extension, or you can keep it in your clamshell position. You're gonna open, extend, bend, and close. Again, lift, reach. Again, lift and press.
Keeping the chest open through this movement. 4 more. 4, reach and lower. This is 3, extend, finding strength through the front of your thigh as you lengthen through your leg. 1 more. Lift, reach, and release back down. Nice work. So just crisscrossing your legs, reaching your arm up and overhead for a nice side stretch. And then lift back up, same thing, but on the other side, reach. And repeat. 1 more here. And lift all the way back up. So let's grab our weights, coming up to a stand, keeping your legs in more of a squat position. So legs wider than your hips, reaching down, starting with a row, bending your elbows here, keeping the chest nice and open. So trying to maintain that squat. So again, you're hinging from your hips as you keep the chest open. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now going into a row, and then lift your arms back down. Lift, lower, straighten, lift, and then lower back down. So reaching towards that diagonal line as you take your arms closer towards the ceiling. Think of all this movement. So going into the row and then lifting on up. The driver really comes from the hip movement. So lift, lower, press the hips forward without arching through your low back. So you want to be careful that you're not going into this. You're finding the length through your spine. Bend, extend, lift, and lower. And reach. 5 more here. Press. 4. Reach. 3. You got this. 2 more. Last one. And release back down. So taking your arms out to this cactus position, take your arms in and out, keeping the chest open. So you're working through your shoulders here. Nice big inhale and exhale. This is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, keep your arms open, little pulses up, little presses. You can always lower the elbows and bring them a little bit forward to take tension away from your neck here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Walking your feet in a little bit closer, keeping the knees bent, going into your bicep curl here. So side view, be careful that you're not jutting the chin forward. You want to find the length through the back of your neck here as you lift and lower. Again, keeping that chest open and press. You have 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, keep your arms at 90 degrees, open and close. So it's not a huge movement. You want to feel the connection of your shoulders working with your back muscles as you open and close. So collarbones, chest as broad as you open your arms out to the sides. Press, start to walk your feet out. Start to turn out a little bit from your hips. And press. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold it here. Bend the elbows and lower. So keeping that little external rotation of your shoulders while going into a curl. Lift and lower. Start to bend your knees and press. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, last one, and lift all the way up. So if you want to challenge, you can take both weights in your hand. Otherwise, you can always just hold on to one weight. Your hand is on your hip. Bend your knees. Reach down towards the floor, but keep the chest nice and open, and then press up and overhead. So nice big inhale and exhale. And lift. So you're working through that lower body. At the same time, you're working through your shoulder and your upper body as you lower and lift. Nice big inhale and exhale. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, last one. Now, lifting your heel up. Most of your weight is over this leg. Bending your knees, so you're reaching towards this diagonal line. Press overhead, bend and extend. Now try to look straight ahead, keeping that chest nice and open. Lower and lift. 8 more here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more here. Nice work, and release back down. So same thing now, but on the other side, facing forward, holding onto your weights, other hand is on your hip. Lower down and press overhead. Nice big inhale, and then exhale to lift. Again, lower, lift and press, and reach. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Turning to the side, diagonal corner. So lifting the heel, turning your hips to that diagonal edge of your mat, bending your knee, and then lifting overhead. So bending both your knees, reach and press. Finding the strength through your shoulders here. Lower and lift. Reach. 4, 3, 2, last one, and release all the way down. So taking your weights in both of your hands, turning to face to side, keeping the chest open, bend from your elbows and extend. Working through your triceps now, and press. Weight is even between both of your legs, feeling the connection of the rib cage coming in and together without rounding through your spine. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2. On this last one, keep your arms fully extended, little pulses up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, take your weights out to the side, place them down on the mat, walking towards the front edge of your mat. Reach your arms up and overhead, nice big inhale. Exhale to release, roll it on down. Or you can walk your hands down your thighs and neutral spine. Finding that nice forward fold here. One more breath. And then walk it out to downward dog, lifting the hips up nice and high. All right, lower down onto your knees. So now going into a hamstring stretch, we're gonna switch and sweep our legs around, extending your leg nice and long, folding your opposite leg in towards your thigh or towards your calf. Reach your arms overhead, and you can flex your foot, reach it forward to get that nice stretch. Finding the length in your spine here as you reach it forward. One more breath. Lifting it on up, what you can do is bring your leg so it's parallel. So now placing your foot down on the mat, taking your arms out to the side, or you can take them back a little bit. Press through your hips, lift up your chest to get a nice release, and then lower back down. Again, flexing your foot, reaching your arms overhead, going back into our stretch again. So finding that nice length through the back of your leg, finding a little bit of a deeper stretch here. So sometimes I like to take my opposite arm and cross it over towards that pinky toe side of my foot here. So that way I get a deeper lengthening action. Just folding my body in half. One more breath here. And then coming back up, bringing your legs so it's parallel, lifting the hips on up, or going into a little bit more of that extension. Release and take your chest up, press through your supporting foot, and then slowly release back down. So same thing now, but on the other side. Switching your legs out, so you're flexing through that foot, lifting your arms overhead, and then reaching it forward. So get that nice stretch. So you should feel a stretch through your hamstring. You may feel it through your calf. You may feel it through your back too. So it's always okay to bend your knee as long as you're feeling the stretch through your muscles, through the center of it versus through the joint. So if you're feeling this extra pull through the back of your knee, bend your knee here, lengthen through your spine, and just hold your stretch. You can lift on up, taking your leg to center, reaching your arms out to the sides and slightly back, pressing through your heel, lifting your hips, and opening up your chest, and release back down. Again, flexing your foot, nice big inhale. Exhale, reach it forward so you get that stretch through the back of your leg here. Couple more deep breaths. You can always take your hand and cross it over to grab onto the opposite side of your foot to get a deeper stretch. And then lift on back up. Okay, so bringing the soles of your feet together, keeping your chest nice and open. You can hinge forward, so just walking your hands forward, finding that nice hinge. You can lower down onto your forearms, or you can stay lifted a little bit more and hinge from your hips. So you should feel that stretch. Using your breath to help you. One more breath here. And lift it on up, bringing your knees together. Walking your hands forward, so going into your forward fold. Lift your hips up high, and you can separate your legs so they're underneath your hips or a little bit wider. Just rocking through your feet, so shifting your weight forward and back.
Now bend your knees, roll it on up. Think one vertebrae at a time. Reaching your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. So turning to face the side if you're not already there, keeping your knees slightly bent. Start by taking your hands into prayer, reaching and extending your arm up towards the ceiling as you reach and lengthen your other arm down towards the side and towards the floor, and then lift back on up towards center. So you're getting that nice stretch through your side body as you reach and stretch to the opposite side, and lift back up. One more time each side. Reach and press to lengthen. And lift. Last one. Reach. And lift on up. Nice big inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale and bring your arms all the way through the center. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.